The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. You have Red Raider football tomorrow against the West Virginia Mountaineers. It'll be early, 11 o'clock kick our time, so noon their time, so a little bit later there. Our coverage begins at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, Optimum Game Day Live. We'll have the smart guy, Rob Rowe, in to kind of dissect everything for us tomorrow. I'm not saying you're not smart and Jeff's not smart, but Rob's a smart guy too.
He's a very smart guy.
Yeah, and intuitive, knowledgeable, all those things that you look for. Then the game itself will be at 11 o'clock tomorrow. What do you have a chief concern about tomorrow?
I guess my biggest concern would be you got off to a slow start. Maybe you didn't bring it early, and their offense got rolling, got the crowd into it, and they were all having fun playing, nothing to lose, and just having fun and not feeling the pressure. And then we tighten up a little bit, but that's not what I would guess is going to happen by any stretch of the imagination. But that would be the, I guess, chief concern. Otherwise, you're the way better football team, and you should win handily.
Yeah, handily. Their freshman quarterback, Scotty Fox Jr., 88 of 147. He's thrown 7 touchdowns, but he's thrown 5 interceptions. Have to think that some takeaways are coming your way tomorrow.
We'd like to think so.
Just with how you've done that this year and how you've capitalized on that this year. I guess for me, my chief concern tomorrow is just protecting Berhen Morton.
That's fair.
I'm not necessarily. It's not that I want him in a bubble wrap, but just because I think this week and then potentially next week with the Big 12 championship game, you're hoping that you can get through tomorrow's game and get to a point where you can put in Mitch Griffiths like you're able to in the last home game against UCF, because the game is out of hand, and with any player, and especially the quarterback position, you're always a play away, right? But just feels like with what we know, and who knows, there may be some more things going on with him than what we know, but with that lower leg, fracture of his tibia, at what point in time does the right hit, make it even worse where he can't play?
Yep.
And that to me is my chief concern about tomorrow. I'm not worried about him being, flat. I'm not worried about him being, overlooking. I'm not worried about them because I think that they understand what this is. I mean, in your mind, is this the biggest game in Texas Tech football history tomorrow?
Well, because of what it leads to, yeah. It's not like it's a monumental matchup or anything like that, or their game day's not here because it's 2 top 5 teams or 2 top 10 teams. But, yes, for what it would mean if you won it, to get you to a Big 12 championship game, I think it'd be hard to argue against that.
Because the next week, you're playing in the Big 12 championship game.
That'll be bigger.
That'll be bigger.
Yep.
And then... whether you...
And the next time you play after that, that'll be bigger.
That's correct, because that will either be...
And if you continue to play that next one, it'll be bigger. Yeah. Right. So we're on this roll now.
It's like this crescendo of getting bigger.
Yes.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yes, no doubt.
Awesome to think. And, when you kind of look at what you've built this program for and built this team for, you feel like, man, what an awesome opportunity that you have right there in front of you. And it's just, and I don't feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't feel like that this team has laid an egg yet. Is that?
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Well, I mean, I guess the Arizona State game.
I wouldn't call that laying an egg.
Okay.
I mean, you played without your starting quarterback. Yeah. That was a massive difference in the game.
Okay, so what was Is there a game where you feel like you've laid?
No,
an egg?
I don't.
Yeah, okay,
I don't think
right.
they have.
Okay.
Football teams don't lay eggs. Chickens lay eggs.
No, I thought you were getting
this
ready
a football team.
I thought you were getting ready to bring something up.
We've laid eggs in previous regimes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things I'll be honest with you about that I have enjoyed about the Joey Maguire era is that it feels like each week his guys have come out. I felt like. And the two coaches before come out ready to play. And the two coaches before that, it was frustrating. At times, you'd get, game would start and you'd be, finish up the first quarter or halfway through the first quarter, and you're like, man, I hope we get going because it doesn't feel like we brought it today. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like that. That doesn't mean we've been perfect under Joey Maguire in every first quarter or anything like that, but I don't think you ever looked at it and said, man, the offense or the defense just is not, they just don't look motivated today. Mm-hmm. There's been days where the offense or the defense has looked bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that about the defense this year, though.
No.
But it's never looked like they were not motivated or flat.
Yeah. Yeah. Berhen Morton comes into the game 156 to 235, 17 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. He's done a really good job of protecting the football this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, no, he's not throwing a lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
Or throwing a lot of picks.
Cam Dickey, I was gonna say Caleb Douglas, but he's a wide receiver because I'm just looking at
Williams.
Jacoby Williams, thank you. I just had a brain freeze there for a second.
It happens.
Both those guys have been in tandem, really good for you, and you'd expect more of that tomorrow. And then, man, defensively, I have to think that David Bailey and Lee Hunt and all the others are kind of feasting at maybe that opportunity to pick up some sacks and really put pressure on the quarterback. And then Jacob Rodriguez, what can you say about him? He's just been nothing short of outstanding. Does he have to have a Heisman moment tomorrow to get him to New York, or do you feel like they've done all they can? They've done about all they can do to push that envelope.
Yeah, I don't know that you get the chance to have a Heisman moment in this game. I mean, you're playing a 4-7 team or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of Heisman moments come out of that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it does. It probably would mean that we're in a close game. And we surely don't want that.
No. And maybe he intercepts a pass and makes a pick six, and then does that in the first quarter. Has a little.
Yeah, I don't know that that's a Heisman moment, though.
No, probably not. Probably not. We'll have it for you tomorrow. Red Raiders are 10-1. They look for their 11th win in the regular season, which you have never had an 11-win regular season before. So that's something else that, well, that's not what you're playing for, because you're playing for the right to go to the Big 12 championship. But that's just another little cherry on top of the whipped cream.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
The Morning Drive, time for this day in sports history. Today is Friday, November the 26th, 2025. I've been struggling with what day today is, but it's Friday.
It is Friday.
It felt like Sunday, but
yeah, that's understandable.
It doesn't. It's not. All right, here is Jeff McGuire with this day in sports history. And just let me correct myself on one thing. I guess I was wrong about 2008. You had 11 regular season wins, so that's my bad. Just had a brain memory that didn't register that last right. That didn't register that last win.
Chuck committed the Red Sox sin of misremembering.
It's my error. So thank you, Texture.
1929. Chicago fullbacks Ernie Nevers sets the NFL record for most points scored in a single game, with all 40 in a Cardinals 40-6 rout of the Chicago Bears. Nevers holds the NFL record with 6 touchdowns and 4 extra points.
Wow. Never say never.
1953, the 18th Iron Bowl took place. Alabama beats Auburn 10-7 in Birmingham. 1978, Cincinnati Reds fire their manager Sparky Anderson after 9 years with the club. 2009, down 13-3, Taylor Potts connects with Lyle Leong for 2 third-quarter touchdowns as Texas Tech beats Baylor 20-13 in Arlington. And in 2021, Dan Campbell records his first victory as head coach of the Detroit Lions with a win against the Minnesota Vikings. This was in Week 13.
Well, he was the new coach.
He was the new coach, and an organization gave him time to figure it out. It didn't take that much time, but much improved since then. It is National French Toast Day.
It's a good day.
I always feel bad for French toast because it's like the 4th thing I think of for breakfast.
What's the first thing you think of?
Bacon and eggs.
Second.
Waffle.
Third.
Pancake.
Fourth. Waffle. The waffle. I'm okay with the French toast as long as it doesn't look too eggy. Like the whites of the egg on the side of the French toast, or the mess that you put it in. That I like it all stirred up. It's just, if it looks too eggy, it just makes my stomach turn.
I would agree with that. I think it's, for the most part, it's not usually that way, though.
Right.
Yeah, it's when it's done poorly. It's like you say anything, right?
Yeah.
Like, sure. I don't really like steaks when it's burnt and it looks like a hockey puck. Right? Yeah, I would take French toast would be number 1 for breakfast for me.
Really? Wow.
Before we get to today's birthdays, big birthday going out on Sunday. Happy birthday, former Red Raider Shannon Woods turns 40. Today, Alan Richardson is 43, Ed Harris 75, Judd Nelson 66, and John Stewart is 63. And on this day in 1520.
Pilgrims got together?
New.
Okay.
New, much bigger. After sailing through the dangerous straits below South America that now bear his name, Portuguese navigator Ferdinand Magellan enters the Pacific Ocean with 3 ships, becoming the first European explorer to reach the Pacific from the Atlantic.
Is that what they call it, the Magellan Strait? Is that
Yes.
right? Yeah.
The Straits of Magellan is
Straits of Magellan. Okay.
actually what it's called, but yes.
Yeah.
Very very dangerous section of the ocean.
Okay.
Dangerous section of the ocean.
Probably still to this day, right?
Yeah, absolutely, to this day.
Okay.
There's a reason we wanted the Panama Canal built. That we didn't have to travel below South America.
Okay.
That's not a fun place to go shipping. And that's this day in sports history.
All right. Very, very good.
It's also a very long way down just to come back up.
Let's see here. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. West Virginia is going to try to stop the run and keep the quarterback busy from passing, but most of all, try to knock out Tech from going to a good bowl. What are you talking about? Going to a good bowl. Knock out Tech from going to the Big 12 championship game, or going to host a college football playoff game, or even potentially being a top 4 seed. It's not about going to a good bowl game. There's much more things at risk than that. Quote, good bowl game. I don't even know what a good bowl game would be this year. Anything less of going to the college football playoffs at this point is going to be really disappointing.
Yeah, no, the sentiment is right, is that they're going to try to play spoiler, but that the part about bowl, that's not really what you're thinking. You're thinking Big 12 championship / college football playoff, all that.
Yeah, no, that's.
But they're going to try to play spoilers, yes.
Yes, no doubt. No doubt. No doubt. High school football playoffs that will take place involving teams in and around our area. The Lubbock schools, for the most part, are done. Seminole will take on Brock today at 1 in San Angelo. Idalou meets Canadian today at 2 at Dick Bivens in Amarillo. So watch out, Idalou, for that Amarillo officiating crew, that'll be there. Slayton.
I think they use non-local ones for.
Well, it's Idalou and Canadian. They're playing in a neutral site, Amarillo. Figured the Amarillo crew would be there. So those probably hadn't refereed in a couple of weeks, so they probably got some anger to get out on somebody. I'm trying to be funny, but it just did not work. Slayton at 10-2 meets Wall today. They're 12-0. That's a big task for Slayton today, taking on an undefeated team. Mm-hmm. And that's at 1 in Sweetwater. Also, New Home meets Stennett, West Texas. New Home is 10-2. West Texas is 12-0. That'll be at 2 o'clock today in Floydada. Also today, Ropes and Groover. This will take place in Canyon. That's at 2 p.m. Ropes is 11-1, and Groover is 10-2 on the season. Those among the games being played today. Okay. I can't wait for the games this weekend. Big chance for chaos and a chance to climb in the rankings.
I completely agree. It feels like forever since we've played a football game.
Yeah, well, it's a couple of weeks.
Ever.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And then, at some point in time, what does Indiana and Ohio State look like to you?
What does what?
Indiana and Ohio State and Michigan look like to you. That's the game. That's the game that's coming up. Indiana and Ohio State would only play in the Big Ten
I'll be
championship.
surprised if Ohio State doesn't win. If that's what you were wondering. What's it look like to me? It looks like
Ohio State win.
Looks like a football game where the better team is Ohio State. That's what I would.
But
guess.
man, they got to overcome the ghosts, of Michigan. I mean,
win a national championship will kill a lot of ghosts.
Okay, all right. How much interest? I'm gonna guess not much, but I'm just gonna ask you, how much interest do you have in the Egg Bowl today between Ole Miss and Mississippi State?
Not. That's not of the games that I'm interested in. Mm-hmm. This weekend. That's one's not high because I don't feel like it affects the Red Raiders that much. Whatever Lane Kiffin is gonna do, have at it. Go have fun. But I'm way more interested in Arizona and Arizona State. The Eagles and the Bears and the. Even Ohio State, Michigan, I would put ahead of that. A&M, Texas is high on my list of games.
Very high, yeah.
Yeah. Georgia Tech, again, that would affect the Red Raiders.
Auburn beats Alabama, then that would knock Alabama out of the playoffs, right?
Yeah, and that's really intriguing to me. So who's the team that somehow slides in at that point?
Is that a BYU opportunity?
I don't think it is BYU because I think BYU is going to lose in the Big 12 championship game. So they're going to be pushed back farther.
Okay.
So who's the team that's somehow skating in if Alabama doesn't win the SEC championship game? Okay. Who's that team? That's one of the most intriguing things to me.
Okay.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. It's great to have you with us today. What's something that has surprised you about this Red Raider football team this year?
How dominant you've been on defense.
Yeah. And the fact that you've continually outscored your opponents by 20 points, which speaks to that domination, obviously, and how you haven't. I mean, with the exception of, and you've played in some close games, but at the end of the day, it doesn't look like you have. But you have played in some close games. That you overtook, Utah in the fourth quarter, and obviously the Arizona State game because you lost that game, so that was a close game. But and I guess that's pretty much. And BYU, I mean, it was.
Kansas State was closer than the score shows.
That's true. Score indicated.
It was 12-7 at halftime.
Yeah. 43-20 was the final. And you lost that Arizona State game 26-22 there in Tempe on October the 18th. The Utah game, too, was a little closer than the score indicated.
Definitely. I mean, that was a one-possession game until you got to the fourth.
Yeah, and then you kind of just pulverized them after your 3 butt games that you won early on. So, and I think what about player wise? Is there somebody that has maybe overperformed offensively that you look at this and go that person or that particular individual did better than what you thought?
Cam Dickey. Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of confidence in both him and Jacoby that they were good backs, but I think they're really good. And Cam, being in the running for really Offensive Player of the Year in the Big 12 Conference and rushing leader in the conference, I did not see that coming.
Yeah. Is there somebody that
I would tell you, I don't think the Red Raiders, I don't think the coaching staff did either. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought it.
Sure.
A running back in to compete with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Has there been a position group that has disappointed you?
Disappointed me. The wide receivers?
Yeah.
Probably. I would probably say that. That's probably about it. I mean, I don't think the offensive lineman has been dominant or anything like that, but I think they've been good. Better than solid. I think they've been good. And so I wouldn't say they've disappointed. But the wide receivers, I think it's a talented group. There's just been too many drops.
And that's and most of that's been on them, not necessarily the quarterbacks too. I mean,
when it's a drop, that means it's not on the quarterback.
Yeah, no, I get you, but I mean, it's not like there've been a bunch that's thrown too high, or that they had to make a spectacular catch or things like that. I mean, you've had some of that, but it does feel like, I guess what I'm saying too is, if you'd have known going into the season that you were not going to be having the type of wide receiver year that you thought you were going to have, you probably would go, we're probably not going to win 10 games.
I wouldn't say we're bad at the wide receiver position or anything like that. I mean, we still have wide receivers and tight ends that are making plays in the passing game. I still think the passing game is good. Mm-hmm. It just could be better.
Yeah,
it could be better. So I don't think we look at this team and feel like, man, if only you had a good wide receiver or two, then you'd be great. I don't think that at all. I just think that you've kept yourself from being even better on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, I still ultimately, you look at the numbers, and I think some of those guys, Reggie Virgil and Caleb Douglas, have definitely had good years. I think Coy Aiken's somewhere close to that, maybe a little bit down from what you expected, but yeah, I think you're still good at wide receiver. You just have the potential to be better than you've been.
Yeah, Douglas has 48 receptions, 696. Virgil 45, 561, and Aiken 41 for 532. So,
all three of those guys have still been big playmakers for you.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what the health is, and what percentage health he is, and that's Terrence Carter.
Yeah, and his numbers have been cut down by him not being healthy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No question.
I don't think he's listed on the injury report this week.
Okay, that's what I was getting ready to take a quick look at to see what was there. Nobody out that is going to surprise you. Maybe Mo Horn. He's out at cornerback, but the others have been out. Questionable is Reggie Virgil, and then they list probable as Berhen Morton. Leighton Stone they put as probable, so maybe he's going to get a chance to be in there a little bit, and especially on special teams. And then A.J. Holmes is listed as probable as well. So Virgil's the only one that's listed as questionable. And you just wonder, okay, so do they go into this game going, hey, Reggie, we're really not going to need you today, so how about taking another week off so you can get really healthy for the Big 12 championship game?
I'm not ready to say that.
Okay.
I'm not ready to say that. Let's get a lead,
mm-hmm.
and then if you want to take Reggie out, or you want to take Berhen out, or if you get a comfortable lead, yeah, halfway through the game, then you can start doing that. But man, I'm not ready to be pulling guys back in a road game in West Virginia.
Yeah, and Coach McGuire agrees with you on that, because he said that on Monday. He said he was asked about protecting guys, and he said we can't protect anyone because if we don't win, we're not in. That's the attitude that they're taking. He did say we want to be as healthy as possible, but we're not holding anyone back. So,
amen.
There you go. There you go. On the
same page.
7:22 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to WT973.com for that. We get this. The football team hasn't had any typical Tech games. I sure hope that is the case tomorrow as well. Yeah.
Maybe we've changed what typical Tech means. Maybe typical Tech means to blow everybody out.
Yeah.
Maybe we flipped that script.
Maybe so.
Well, the typical Tech this year is win by 20. Mm-hmm. You lost to Arizona State. That was your typical Tech game.
Typical Tech would have been, I don't know, the Baylor game a season ago. That would probably be falling into that category, a home game that you felt like you should have won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's one of them. We talked about it a little bit earlier, that the McGuire era, that's one of them that does pop into mind is, okay, maybe we didn't show up to play that day. Yeah. That's one, now that I think about it. Because it didn't feel like you did.
That was disappointing. No.
Yeah. No. You can't necessarily say that about the TCU game because, at times, would you have a 18-point lead at one point in the game or a 19-point lead, whatever it was. You were there. It just slipped out of your hands, slipped through your hands, whatever.
We'll make predictions today at 8:30 upon further review, but you can take a look at the predictions that all the guys have made for this game. Go to doubleTSportsNetwork.com for that and click on the West Virginia Texas Tech prognostication page. You can see what everybody's. I think everybody's pretty well thinking it's an easy win tomorrow.
Yeah, all Red Raiders and all blowouts. Yeah, I don't think anybody's picking it close.
Yeah, that's good. Now you just have to go execute, right?
Yep.
Execute. And we'll try to stay out of the way.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, gentlemen. Usually in a season you play some close games, and because those close games happen, you have special plays that ultimately decided the game that are very memorable to you, but you don't really have any close game wins this year.
Mm-hmm. So,
I'm going to ask you this question, because I think it's a little bit more difficult than it normally would be.
Oh, man.
If the season were over right now, let's pretend it is, okay? What are the 3 plays that are the most memorable for you in this season?
Okay. I'm going to say the kickoff return by Jacoby Williams.
Okay.
I'm going to say the quarterback sneak for a touchdown by Jacob Rodriguez. And trying to think if there's been a long touchdown pass by Berhen Morton to somebody that I'm not thinking of. How about I'll just say the 5 field goals by Stone Harrington in a game. As kind of a lump.
Okay.
My answer sucks. I'm saying that ahead of time. I know it sucks. However, what I'm going to remember most are the 3 fumbles you didn't get that you caused against Arizona State, where balls literally bounced right back into their hands, where you're forcing fumbles and any single one of those go the other direction, you win that football game.
Okay.
I told you my answer sucks, but those are the plays that I'm like, can we just get one of those and you win that game? And you had so many, and you're so good at it. I'm sorry.
You do you, Jeff. You do you. All right, I'm going to take Jacob Rodriguez basically just ripping the ball out of the Oklahoma State ball carrier, ripping it out of his hands and running in for a touchdown as one of my 3. Mm-hmm. I am going to take the Cam Dickey first play from scrimmage against Kansas, 71 yards up the middle for a touchdown as one of my 2 plays. And the third one, I will go with the quarterback draw that Jacob Rodriguez ran for a touchdown. That it felt like as loud as our stadium had ever been. as the anticipation, even before he ran in for the touchdown, when everybody knew what was going on, and Jacob was running onto the field to play, in a wildcat formation there, and run it in. That was so incredibly cool, and that the crowd picked up on it, and they were so excited about it, and then it worked. So that was absolutely awesome. Those are the three plays that really stick out to me. You could probably throw Skylar Gill-Howard's interception return for a touchdown.
Yes, that's a good point.
Early on in the season, I can't remember which one of the non-conference games that was against. I'm not really sure, but it doesn't matter. That was awesome, and the big smile that was on his face, that would have to be up there on the list as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Okay. Well, we made quick work of that. 7:35 this morning here on the morning drive. What is there a play that stands out that, like, okay, so Jeff, you don't get to answer this because you already have. Is there a most disappointing play for the season? Does it go back to the Arizona State game and what Jeff said?
It would probably go back to the very first time that Berhen injured his leg, because it feels like that's been lingering all year long because of it.
Yeah. And
that was in game 1, right?
I believe so. Against Arkansas Pine Bluff. Yeah. Yeah, I believe so. And it kind of feels like it kind of all goes back to that. And I think the other thing that, and Joey McGuire said this before, the thing that has surprised him with regard to Berhen's injuries this year is it hasn't involved his shoulder at all, or his arm. Knock on wood. Keep that going your way. Because that was kind of a freak injury with regard to his leg. And same thing with Will Hammond, kind of a non-contact deal there where he messes up his knee. Because you'd feel, not that you feel bad about your backup quarterback right now, because Mitch Griffiths he's been serviceable, don't you think?
He's been okay.
Yeah. If you had to start a game with him, would you feel like that your odds go down exponentially, or would you just say, okay, everybody else needs to rise up a little bit?
Who are we playing?
We're going to play, whether we're playing BYU or somebody in the college football playoff.
I would think the odds of you winning would exponentially go down. Yes.
Exponentially go down. Okay. Yeah, you're probably right about that.
West Virginia? Yes, still could beat them. Probably.
But you don't want to try it.
Nope.
You don't want to try it. You want to just keep rolling with what you.
I think as far as third string quarterbacks go, he's a good one. Better than most. Yeah. Better than most. I think, and if given more reps and more opportunities to be, work with the first unit and all that good stuff. I think we could see him, be better than he is right now. Okay, I think it's hard in that position as a third string guy because you're just not getting a lot of reps, and you're not getting a lot of reps with the first string guys.
With the ones, right?
Yeah, and so I think he could be better than he is right now. But right now, it matters. I think I would have said the same thing if you asked me about Will Hammond, by the way. Compared to Berhen Morton. Yeah. The odds of you winning go down.
Yeah. I think you're right about that. And Mitch Griffiths is going to be back for another year.
That's good.
So
that's good.
And so will Will Hammond. And you got to go find somebody in the portal that could be your number one, because Hammond's not going to be available at the start of the season. So you got to find somebody that's there, willing and able to. And I'm sure that, you'll pay somebody handsomely to be able to do that, and that shouldn't be necessarily a problem. Okay?
Wouldn't guess so.
7:39 this morning here on the Morning Drive. But that's next year. We'll worry about next year. We're still got a lot left of this year.
Hope so.
Yeah, hope so, including tomorrow with Tech and West Virginia from the mountains. We'll have it for you at 11 o'clock. For the kickoff, our coverage begins tomorrow morning with Optimum Game Day Live at 7 a.m. Don't forget, after the game, it's the Double T 97.3 Coors Light postgame show. Hopefully it's a spirited one in a positive manner, where people are happy and joyful and not mad and angry. We don't want any mad and angry tomorrow. We want joyful tomorrow after the ball game. On a happy road.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Good morning with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. That kind of gets you Kind of gets you fired up a little bit. We need something like that for the Red Raiders. That just
we have lots of things like that for the Red
I know,
Raiders.
but I mean, to just feel like that's really catchy, and that makes you just want to kind of just drive a little faster and talk a little faster and walk a little faster and all those kinds of things. Good morning with Jamie Lent, Jeff McGuire, and Chuck Heinz. We come to you from the First United Bank studio. The arena that the Lady Raiders played in this Hoop Fest Challenge was where the Dallas Mavericks G League team plays, but it's also the home of the Dallas Stars practice facility. And the ice was still down for the Stars, and they put the protective cover over it and then the cord over it. But man, Jamie, I've it's been a while since I'd been in an arena that had ice underneath, and I'm not sure that I've ever seen the Lady Raiders play on a floor that had ice over it, and it didn't cause the court to be slick or anything. But man, it was cold in that arena. I mean, it was really cold. I was probably 55 degrees on the court, maybe even chillier. But man, it was freezing at shoot around yesterday morning and on Tuesday morning, and there really wasn't a whole lot that they can't do. It's not like you can turn the heater on because then you're going to melt the ice, which would not be good.
Does not sound ideal.
No, but man, it was really chilly, and there wasn't. And I'll tell you, of the game, like you go there and you see the game plan before you, and nobody played after us, and Tech was the last game of the deal yesterday. But man, there were more Red Raider fans there, Lady Raider fans there than any of the other groups, including North Texas. Obviously, if you're Old Dominion, they're coming from Virginia, and that's not going to be very many fans from Oregon coming. So, but still, I mean, had a really good group of folks yesterday and on Tuesday. A lot of family members, obviously, because you have a lot of kids from Texas and the DFW area and things like that. So that was good to see. And a good effort yesterday. They won 67-47. So we'll get a little bit into that maybe later on. This surprised me, Jamie, and this, I don't know if this is going to surprise you or not. You may know this, but of all the teams that Berhen Morton has played against in the Big 12, in terms of passing yardage, he's had more success against West Virginia than anybody else.
Yeah, I don't know what. I'm not going to say that I'm surprised. I'm not saying that I'm not surprised. I wouldn't have had in my mind which teams he's been better against than others. I wouldn't have.
Okay.
That's like probably Choice or Rob could have remembered that kind of stuff. I know he was great at the end of the season last year, and those two games against Oklahoma State and West Virginia were there at the end of the season. So that makes sense. That makes sense.
Tomorrow will be his third game started in his career against West Virginia. He's played in 3 and started 2 right now. He's 69 for 123, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 842 yards. Oklahoma State is next on the list with 3 games, 2 started, 77 of 118 for 780. Baylor has been an Achilles heel for him. He has 5 interceptions against Baylor, and that's as many as all the other, let's see, 3, 4. No, it's more than all the other Big 12 teams that he's played against combined, at least as far as this list is concerned. And they've listed this opponents with multiple starts only. So there's other schools that he's played against, but of this list, West Virginia, Oklahoma State, Baylor, Houston, Kansas, and TCU, he's had multiple starts against them.
Okay.
So of that list, he had 5 interceptions against Baylor. Wow. But 7 touchdowns against Baylor, too. He's had more touchdowns in his multiple start games against Baylor than any of the other schools. And, of course, you got West Virginia to play tomorrow. So what would be, and I'm going to ask you to think just from a negative standpoint, just for a second, okay? Just for a second. What's do you think West Virginia's recipe for victory tomorrow. What does that look like for them? What do they have to do against Texas Tech tomorrow to beat the Red Raiders?
Play their best game of the year, start with that, and probably force a bunch of turnovers.
And you have to play one of your worst games, right?
Well, if you're turning the ball over a bunch, it would be one of your worst games, yeah.
But even still, I mean, the defense is going to have to give up some points. And, so far this year, I mean, you're hardly giving up any points. You're only giving up 12 points a ball game. West Virginia is scoring 24 points a ball game. Do you feel like that they would have to score? They'd have to score 30 or more to beat you, right?
Unless these turnovers were just killing you and your chances of putting up points on offense.
And you get stuck in the red zone and you're kicking. You get stuck in the stone zone, right?
Yeah. I mean, that would hurt too.
It'd be shocking. Somebody offers this. I'm in a metal band. I'll write a Tech hype song. Okay. Well, let's see what you can do. Would that, if you approve that, if it sounded good, would you approve something like that for us?
Depending on how it sounded, yeah. I don't think metal is necessarily the preferred choice for bump music, but we'll see how it sounds.
Well, just kind of has kind of a novelty, kind of like what we have for Dallas Stars, Dallas Stars, Dallas Stars. I'm not a hockey fan, but it makes me want to tune in.
It's like there's a reason I play it every day at 8 when
I know.
games at 8 o'clock.
But I mean,
to remind people to tune in tonight.
Yeah, makes me want to do that.
Well, have fun tonight.
Okay, I probably won't. I'll be watching football tonight, I think, especially with you got A&M in Texas. I mean, it's Red China, Russia. Either outcome would be good, and this is a good song too, obviously.
He says that like I play bad songs.
Yeah, every once in a while. There's some songs on your hit list that I don't particularly care for from time to time. So yeah,
we're going to play the Beatles every now and then, Chuck.
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
I know it.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet973.com.